Hello guys, welcome to my channel Believe in Tech. Today I am going to share with you a step-by-step guide to install OpenMediaVault. OpenMediaVault is a Linux-based operating system and is one of the easiest way to set up a NAS, a network attached storage, with media serving capabilities for your home or small office. You can use any old computer on a Raspberry Pi for this purpose. However, you should know that you will not be able to use the device as a normal computer, as it does not come with a user interface like Windows or Linux. It only comes with a web UI to manage it just like a router. OpenMediaVault can be set up using only one storage drive. However, it is recommended that you install OpenMediaVault on a separate drive from your data drive. Also, if you are going to use only one drive from OpenMediaVault, please back up all your data off the storage drive, as during the installation all the data on the drive will be wiped out. Now we are going to download the OpenMediaVault ISO. Choose the stable version. Wait for the download to finish. After this, we are going to download a tool called Balinahr. Go to the website of Balinahr and download the version according to your operating system. Choose the ISO that we have already downloaded. Now we need to select the USB drive that we want to flash. Select the drive you want to format and be careful here. You can select the wrong drive and wipe out all your data. First of all, make sure that only the drive you are going to install OpenMediaVault on is plugged in. Now, we need to boot off from the USB drive. This step can vary from computer to computer. However, it usually involves starting your computer while the USB drive is plugged in, pressing a key to bring up the boot menu, and selecting the USB drive to boot off from. If your computer is newer, then you also need to go into the BIOS settings and disable secure boot and enable legacy boot. After that, the process is similar. If you are having too much trouble in booting off the USB drive, you can Google it for your specific laptop or desktop motherboard. Once you have booted from the USB drive, you get to this screen. Select install, select your preferred language, select your keyboard layout. It will try to configure the network automatically. Enter the host name, the name you want to give your server. I will leave it as default. Domain name, I will also leave as default. Set root user password. Root user is a user in Linux operating system which has access to all the files and settings. Hence, it is recommended that you set a strong password. Now it is giving an error that more than one storage device detected. It means you have not unplugged all the other drives that you will not install OpenMediaVault on. It is again requested to unplug all the drives that you are not going to use for OpenMediaVault installation, and only leave the drive you plan to install OpenMediaVault on. Not doing so can lead to loss of all the data on those drives. Now it is asking me to select the drive on which I will install OpenMediaVault. Selecting a disk will wipe out all the data on it and install OpenMediaVault. Confirm that you want to wipe out all the data and write changes to the disk. Make sure that you have selected the right drive here. Let it install the OS. Here it is asking to select the mirror server country. Select your country or the closest to you for faster updates. I will leave the archive mirror to the default. I don't use a proxy to connect to internet, so I will leave it blank. Installation has been completed, and keep in mind that you have multiple hard disks attached to your computer. It might try to boot off any other hard disks next time you start your computer. Hence, you should go into your BIOS UEFI settings, look for boot settings or boot order, and set the drive that has OpenMediaVault as the first one. You can also find instructions specific to your computer easily on YouTube. If you did everything correctly, you should also be greeted with a similar screen. Note down the IP address and the default username and password displayed on the screen here. Now, we are going to create a user account who will be using the file server. Enter the IP address of your OpenMediaVault in browser, and you should also be greeted with a similar screen. Enter the default login and password that you noted earlier. Click on users, then again on users. Click the plus button on the top and then create. Fill out the details of the user account you are going to create. For example, I am creating a user account named Media User. Set the password of the user account and click Save. Then click on Apply on the top right corner to apply the changes. You can also create multiple users in the same way. Now we are going to set our router to always assign the same IP addresses to our machine. Otherwise, the router may change the IP address of the OpenMediaVault machine next time it reboots. First, go to the network section, then click Interfaces. Select your network device and click Show Details. Here, note down the hardware address of your network device, also known as MAC address. Now we need to head over to our routers page. Usually it is 192.168.1.1 or 192.168.0.1. You can confirm it by looking at the back of your router. The default username and password should also be printed on the back side. Log into the router and look for something like DHCP reservation list, static DHCP list, reserved IP under the network or DHCP settings. Basically, we are looking for an option which lets you assign a static IP address to the MAC address of your OpenMediaVault. Enter the MAC address and IP address of the OpenMediaVault device. Depending on your router, you may need to change the format of the MAC address by replacing the semicolon with a dash. Save the DHCP reservation settings. Now, OpenMediaVault will always have the same IP address on your network. You can easily access it from any device on your network without needing to find out the IP address every time your machine reboots. As a last step, we need to install OpenMediaVault Extra plugin. This will enable us to download more plugins on our server. For this, first download a tool called Putty. It is used to remotely log in on other devices. Open Putty, type the IP address of your OpenMediaVault and hit enter. Enter the root user as user and the password for the root user that you set during installation. After that, copy this link from the website wiki.ombextra.org. Then right click on the Putty terminal to paste the link copied from the website and then hit enter. After a few seconds, the OMB Extra plugins package should be installed. Last but not the least, I would highly recommend you connect your OpenMediaVault machine to the network via a network cable and not with Wi-Fi. The performance could be very slow and unreliable on a Wi-Fi connection. That's it, OpenMediaVault has been installed on your system and running. In the next video, I am going to show you how to set up a pooled storage with protection against hard disk failures. I will also show how to set up Docker and file server using OpenMediaVault. Hit the like button if you liked the video and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of my future videos.